Who is the real president-elect, you think?
Donald Trump won, I believe.
Democratic lawmakers in Washington are calling Elon Musk President Musk now, and they're saying Donald Trump is the vice president or the head of communications.
What's? Wait a second. No one said that.
Lately, Don Lemon has been doing his man on the street videos, which typically don't end too well for him. Let's see how this video goes. Let's see how this one goes when he discusses this claim that Elon Musk is going to be the new president. Let's check it out. Make sure you stick around to the end to hear Don Lemon's own pretty shocking admission. It's pretty crazy.
Who is the real president-elect, you think?
Donald Trump won, I believe.
Democratic lawmakers in Washington are calling Elon Musk President Musk now, and they're saying Donald Trump is the vice president or the head of communications.
What's? Wait a second. No one said that.
Really? Have you not watched and paid attention to the
Absolutely
news?
not. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing during my day so I can try and get a better life and get ahead.
Okay, do you?
Now, I want to say one thing real quick. Now, it's true that that's a word. The word that's going around, the rumor that's going around is that Elon is the president. Donald Trump is going to be the vice president, which is silly. All these folks are trying to do is stoke division. They understand how powerful it is that Donald Trump is teamed with Elon Musk. So you're talking about the richest man in the world. Dude's got over 200 million followers on X, his own platform. And they understand, as was demonstrated recently with his impact on when it came down to the budget, the upcoming budget for next year, or at least the short-term budget that they were voting on recently. They see this man as a dangerous threat, and they should, because he's a threat to the leftist agenda. The part that really drives me nuts in this whole thing is that the left has many more billionaires supporting them. The only difference is these dudes be lurking in the shadows, and we don't know. We don't hear from them being outspoken. Your Bill Gates, your George Soros' son, various other people on the left, billionaires who have a progressive agenda in mind. You hear rumors about what they do, but they lurk in the shadows. The massive difference, at least in my mind, is when it comes down to Elon Musk. Dude's outspoken. He's very blunt. He tells you what he believes. He is a ardent and bold Trump supporter. And the left is going about this because they understand that Donald Trump has a big ego. And if they try to push them together and say that Trump is just following Elon's lead, they're hoping that they can divide these guys. And then you don't have the big support team. You don't have this massive team who are promoting Donald Trump's agenda. That's what their goal is. But again, my man here, the dude on the bottom, the dude that Don Lemon is interviewing, is just an average, everyday dude who at first he says it's not happening, but then he says he doesn't know because he's too busy. Again, this is just these folks trying to stoke division.
Okay, do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Why don't you Google right now?
Yes, tell me.
President Musk and see what comes up.
No. But that's already a loaded question, you realize.
Tell me, give me the sources.
Axios, Business Insider.
Oh.
We don't trust
Keep
any
going,
of these. The
keep
common
going,
man doesn't
keep
trust
going,
any of this.
Keep going.
ABC News,
Oh,
Washington
keep
Post,
going.
New York Times.
Oh, keep going.
Don is acting like he's getting this guy. All the sources he's read are leftist sources, left-leaning sources. And these are the ones who basically were telling us for the last few years that Joe Biden was as sharp as a tack, running circles around the interns, and that he's the sharpest they've ever seen. And they hid the entire agenda, the cover for this man, so that we wouldn't find out, or we wouldn't find out, the general public wouldn't find out, because most of us who already understand that the mainstream media is untrustworthy, we already knew Joe Biden was a shell of his former self, that he was 3 steps above being a vegetable. And that's not trying to make fun of the dude. That's just the reality of it. So he's like, oh, you talking about the Washington Post? Come on, man. Axios, really? Don Lemon lives in his little leftist circle, leftist bubble, and he never or rarely ever ventures out of it because he doesn't want to be exposed because his ideas are silly.
Atlantic.
Oh,
I don't trust any of these.
oh,
I don't trust any of them.
Okay.
I don't trust any of these. We're the common man. We don't trust any of these. No one trusts the government. No one trusts the common news. We don't trust any of that anymore.
Well,
now pay attention. Listen to what old Don Lemon has to say here as this video is about to close.
We don't trust any of that anymore.
Well,
Independent news, we are the ones that own the news now. People trust me. They don't trust MSNBC because I care and I'm actually one of them.
Can't disagree with you.
Okay.
Because I,
Well, then.
I get a lot of people coming to me saying, I only watch, I don't watch corporate media anymore.
Right.
Who is?
Let's see that again. Make sure y'all heard what he said.
News, we don't trust any of that anymore.
Well,
Independent news, we are the ones that own the news now.
Look at his face, because even he can't admit it. Even he can't deny it. And what's going on? Even Don Lemon is the quote unquote a part of the independent news nowadays.
People trust me. They don't trust MSNBC because I care and I'm actually one of them.
Can't disagree with you.
Okay.
Because
Well, then.
I get a lot of people coming to me saying, I only watch, I don't watch corporate media anymore.
Right.
Now, I'm not sure. I think he said that he had people come to him saying that they only watch him. They don't watch corporate media anymore. I question the wisdom of only watching Don Lemon, because if you think about it, over the last 4+ years, he was a major part of that corporate media, massive part of that corporate CNN media, that same CNN media that said fiery but mostly peaceful during the protests in, I think it was Kenosha, when the buildings were burning down behind them, and they had that lower third of that chyron that said fiery but mostly peaceful. He was a part of the COVID cartel that wanted you to be locked down and said basically you were trying to kill your grandma if you didn't agree with the lockdowns and the masking or the vaccine mandates. He was a part of that. He was a part of the people who spread the lies about January 6th and spread the lies about Donald Trump and all the exaggerations about him being a Nazi and all this kind of foolishness and good people on both sides. He was a part of that whole lie that he said there were good people on both sides. And if you still believe that to be true, go back and watch his entire press conference, because he clearly articulates that he was making a clear distinction between the white supremacists and the people who were out there just protesting the taking down of statues and things like that. He made a clear distinction. He says, I am not talking about the white supremacists because they need to be condemned totally. But they allowed that lie to go on for years. And there's even one of these fact checkers, so-called fact checkers, that called it out and finally admitted it about a year ago that never happened. Another mainstream media lie. And the only reason he even questions some of the mainstream media narratives is because they gave him the boot. They gave him the boot. But let me know what y'all think about this video. I love watching Don Lemon get his because I can't trust him. I'm not a fan whatsoever. But let me know what you think. Comment down below. If you appreciate content like this, make sure you give me a like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next video.